All right, here we are, ICAST 2021. ICAST is, if you're not familiar, it's the sport fishing trade show. It's all the B2B stuff. That's business to business. So it's, you know, all these people running around here, these are probably dealers over here that are checking out the product and checking everything else out. But, you know, I have kind of two coats when I come here. I've got the missile baits thing, which is the majority of my time, but then we've got the Spro right next door. I've got TH Marine over there, and Sunline, and Cash and Rods, you know, just other sponsors and people that I deal with. So just kind of giving you a recap as of what ICAST, you know, is for me and kind of what it was for me this year. You know, this year with Missile, we kind of had two big products, but I'll kind of go over those. This is the Mini D chunk. It's a little 3-inch chunk that goes on the back of the Mini Flip jig and the new Mini Swim jig. The Mini Swim jig, it's going to be 3 sizes, 3/16, 5/16, and 7/16, kind of depending on what water depth you want it. But it's got that fine cut skirt just like the Mini Flip jig. And of course, you know, you can see that little package fits well together. There's going to be 10 different colors in the chunk and 10 different colors in the swim jig, in addition to the 3 sizes. So, you know, like for missile baits, that's what we did. That's what we're talking about. I've done a zillion videos on that kind of stuff, and, you know, talked to a bunch of dealers and explained that to them. I mean, everybody from, you know, Susquehanna Fishing Tackle to Tackle Warehouse and Tackle Direct, and, you know, a ton of just other independent dealers. Green Top Sporting Goods, you know, in Virginia, they're one of the original missile baits dealers. It's pretty cool. But then, you know, we got brand new catalogs with Missile. You know, we're showing that and giving a bunch of those away. You know, that's kind of what Missile, you know, does with my section for here at ICAST. But I also have to bounce over there to Spro as well, and, you know, talk about that. So let's just look at some of this new stuff over here. It's pretty cool. So, you know, last year we introduced the micro DD, but we didn't have ICAST last year because of the COVID thing. And so for a lot of people are getting to see this for the first time if they don't carry the micro DD 45. But then, you know, we've got a new color. Like, look at that. It's Coral Shad. I mean, just a beautiful color in the Little John. That's in the Little John and the MD. That's coming out sometime very soon. But then, like, Spro's got all kinds of other new stuff. They got the Wamiku 80, like the Wamiku in a bigger 80 size. They also have it in the little 60 size, the little smaller size. I will throw that little 60 quite a bit. I'm going to put that on my order form here very soon. But then you got like the Fat Papa Walker, Russ Lane's new bait. So it's like all these new baits. So if you're a tackle junkie, like this is the place to go, but it is not open to the public, unfortunately. So we're trying to bring you as much video as we can. You know, a lot of media comes here. They've got this new Cyclone Prop Junior. It's almost, you know, it's got the prop that goes around, so you reel it, but it's really a kind of a different shape. You know, with this belly and the hook being down there, I would imagine that the hookup ratio is going to be really good. It's got a little rattle in it. I don't know. I mean, it's a steady retrieve bait, so I don't know why you would have a rattle in it unless you plan on ripping it. You know, and I'm guessing that's part of the mystique with this thing. But I don't know anything about it. I'm gonna have to figure that out at some point. They got this carbon blade. You know, blade baits have kind of come back in resurgence, getting a little more popular. But there's just all kind of new stuff. You know, Everett Cash, and we did my Icon rods. But those, I talk to you guys all the time about those in the vlogs and other videos that we do, especially the tournament coverage. You hear me talking about my stuff. But I'm going to show you one more thing from Spro. This is the Flappin' Frog. So it's a steady retrieve. It's more of a toad than a frog, in my opinion, my categories, but it's not made out of the conventional material that the frogs are made out of, the Spro bronzeye frogs. See, it's a stretchy, it's like some type of elastomer. I don't know what the hell it's made out of, but it's durable for sure. And then it's gonna have the normal big hook in it, and that thing, you know, you can see the little kicking legs, so when you steady reel it, it's just gonna buzz along, be like a buzz frog. But the Flappin' Frog is what that is right there. That's something I'm pretty excited to get into my arsenal. But that, do like Tackle Junkies, this is your place. They've got a zillion different new products. I mean, there's new chatterbaits. There's the big blade chatterbait. There's the little small mini match chatterbait. There's all kind of new products here. But for me, I meet with a lot of dealers and meet with Spro and all these other companies that I associate with, and try to help facilitate relationships, between two different people at two different companies. There's a lot of that goes on, a lot of networking goes on here at this show. But then for me, I'm also on the ICAST show committee. So like for this whole big show, there's a committee that makes these suggestions and evaluates everything and the show rates and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm fortunate enough that I am on that committee that meets 4 times a year. We have one of our meetings on the Friday of the show, which we just did here. I just did that. I was in there for a little over 2 hours, talking with the guy that runs the show and the other committee members. I mean, there's people from Pure Fishing, there's people from Big Bite Baits, there's people from Plano and Eagle Claw that are on that committee, people from the Fred Hall shows, people from Tackle Direct, so retailers, all kind of different people go on that committee. So that's kind of a neat deal. And we'll have a sport fishing summit in October. We'll have another meeting there and talk about planning ICAST for next year. So that's kind of a neat little deal. So in addition to all this other stuff, running around, talking with people, shooting videos, just like we're doing right now, shooting videos and talking with other pros, Caleb Summerall's here, Kyle Welcher's here. If you don't know what Kyle Welcher's page is, you need to go to there immediately and subscribe. But anyway, there's all kind of different, other pros here that you get to see. I get to see a bunch of the MLF guys that I don't get to see anymore because we don't fish the same circuit. See a bunch of those guys. Like I got to catch up with Brent Ayler, B Height. Got to see him, hang out with him for a little bit. James Watson, I talked to him for a while this morning. A lot of those guys over there that are my friends. Get to catch up with them, so that's kind of cool. Mike McClellan was here, Mr. Rock Crawler himself. He was here, talked with him for a while. So there's all kind of different cool stuff. And then as of right now, the show's a little slower, usually on Friday. So you get to, chance to catch up with other people. And we might go around. Look they even have a bar. Check this out. This is ICAST, son. They got a bar going on right now. Right now, it's not even 2 o'clock on the show day. There's a bar over there. That's what happens in B2B, business to business. You might get stressed out. You need a little drink, a little cocktail. That's what happens. What's up? But we'll get around. These are all like Sea Falcon is a big part of Spro, and that's all those new products over there. And look, here's one more new product: the Creeper 80, big winged bait. It's I'm guessing it's kind of like it's got a little rattle in it, and then they got the E-Pop and the Hunter baits. Those are baits that have been out for a little bit. But the Fat Papa's got new colors. Rock Crawler's got new colors. Like, look at that bad boy right there. I will fire that right out into the lake. I'm not even kidding. Springtime. That Delta Craw, I believe that's what that is. Beautiful. There's just all kind of new stuff. New tackle here at ICAST. What's the best? People might be asking, what's the best thing you've seen so far? Of course, I'm going to say some missile baits, mini swim jig, and the mini D-chunk. But the other thing that I really liked was that mini max, that smaller chatterbait. I don't even have one. I'm going to try to go snake one here before the end of the show because they only have about a dozen or so. Go try to snake one from them in a nice way because I know a lot of those guys over there at Z-Man. They're good people, good dudes over there. So if you're ever wondering, they're based out of South Carolina. They're good people. And so that was a big one for me as a bass angler that I have seen that be something cool. But there's all kind of new stuff. Like Berkeley won Best of Show in the soft baits category with a thing called the Gilly. There's some swim baits similar to that in Japan apparently, but I've never even seen those. And that Gilly thing, it kind of swims. It looks unique. They got different sizes. So that's something else I'll have to check out. But that's kind of like my ICAST recap as to what goes on here. It's a lot of business to business, a lot of relationships. And if you guys have any more questions, drop them down there in the comments, and I'll try to bring them to you, try to answer them.